What up? What up? What up? Man, oh man, give me a Lima Charlie if you guys can hear me loud and clear. Give me a Lima Charlie if you guys can hear me loud and clear. Man, we're in April. April, full-time swing of spring. Hashtag bars, man. Hopefully y'all are having a good one. Let me know what you're carrying in your pockets today. We're going to do some quick Q&A. Hashtag bars. I'm just laying them down, bro. No, I'm messing around with y'all, man. I'm about to light this stick. I'm about to freaking drink this Topo Chico. Okay, I got a whole idea in my head. Congratulations to me. I got the kids to officially lay down and take a nap so I can carve out some room for me to do a live stream. And I was like, hell yeah, bro. We gonna go ahead and do this shit, man. Like, we might as well just fucking make this shit happen, man. Like, just whole way using this tactile bear, bro, with the bottle cap lifter. Come at me, bro. This is just one of those things you just have because you want it. You absolutely don't need it. There's no rhyme or reason to have it, but it is what it is, man. It is what it is. So it's one of those crazy days, man. Like, I feel like we are in the swing of things. I feel like knife companies are showing their ass with all their releases that they're doing. And I love it. We got flashlights that are dropping out, that are popping out, they're jumping out the window. We're going to talk about some of the ones I've been reviewing lately. Finally, some of these companies let the cat out the bag with some of the flashlights that they're going to be releasing, even though quietly I've been showing them on my live streams or letting them sit on the table doing videos and all that other type of stuff, bro. All the other type of stuff. First off, man, I appreciate the different folks that have already kind of kicked the door in, made different things happen. We appreciate that. Bentley is up in this mug, man. Hopefully you're having a good one. Look at that thumbnail, bro. Hey, this shit that everybody's been doing with the Grok and they've been doing with just any generative AI is becoming scarier and scarier. Like, there's so much generative AI that happens. I like grind and put in work when it comes to me and like my thumbnails and but I've been like using generative AI just a smidge, like a pinch, you know what I'm saying, to help me come up with YouTube scripts and like things I might want to talk about. And I don't know, stuff like that. So just to see that, man, it kind of threw me off. Hey, Sparks and Sawdust, what up, man? Hey, you sound like my type of vibes because literally just last week, okay, I don't know if you guys listen, side note, let's just talk about an experience I had with my truck recently. I drive a 2015 GMC Sierra 1500 lifted, rough country lift. Love everything about it. Makes grandpa excited. But you know what? I had to change out the terminal connections for my battery. Now the positive lead is easy. The positive lead is a slam dunk, bro. I just literally changed the lead out. Boom, boom, boom. In there like swimwear. But when it comes to the actual, hold on, what is going on here? Let's see, zoom to app. No, there we go. But when it comes to the actual the negative terminal, I had to take the starter off, take the front right passenger tire off. I had to remove the wheel well. I had to, because you have to ground the wire into the engine well. I was like, bro, this is a lot of work, man. It's a lot of work. So yeah, we were able to knock it out. We were able to knock that out. So I am the type of person that's just like, hey, listen, this thing is sticking with me till the wheels fall off. So when I see your name being Sparks and Sawdust, you feel like the type of guy that might be able to just kind of make that stuff happen yourself, bro. Thanks for kicking the door in. B Shady's in here as well. B Shady 22. What up, man? Thanks for kicking the door in. Hopefully you're having a good one. Let the shenanigans commence with the popcorn and the juice box. Hey, I intend to go for an hour, guys. If we hit the goal, we hit the goal of 5 super chats, I'll extend for another half an hour, $2 or above for the super chats. I appreciate that. And just that way we can answer some Q&A you might have for everyday carry. You may have for SHTF. You may have for without rule of law. You may have on your vehicles. If just whatever I might be able to pump out, doesn't mean I know everything. We can kind of talk about that stuff and let things happen. Redskin Faithful is in here saying, hey, what up? Hopefully you're doing good, Redskin Faithful. Appreciate the comment on my 1911. I love that damn that 1911 45 Commander lightweight. Bro, that mug is getting it done. We're gonna have a Agrinosa. I'm probably mispronouncing it. Leaf. This one here is a rare leaf. It is a reserve. I've already taken off one of the bands. I didn't take off both bands yet. We're gonna do a guillotine style cutter with the Benchmade 1500 cigar cutter with the rich light scales, S30VN when it comes to the actual cutter itself. Complete overkill for a cigar cutter, but who effing cares? Who cares? Like, who cares? As long as I get a clean cut, that's all I really care about. We're also going to use, why not? Use some cigar. Let's use some matches by Benchmade. Benchmade, you know, they brand matches. Spirit of 87. They gave them to me while I was at SHOT Show. And I was like, free matches? Yeah, you guys don't give away free stuff. I'll take 14, please. I appreciate that. Run it up for your boy. Run it up for your boy. Psychotic Assault is here saying big ups, Marine. Hey, thanks for kicking the door in. Hopefully you're having a good afternoon, day, morning, wherever the hell you are in the world, and all of that good stuff, bro. We're going to get this lit, and then we're going to talk about what I carried in the pocket today, why I carried such a simple thing today, and all that good stuff. Anybody in the area that's supposed to get tornadoes and floods, etc. Man, I am in Northeast Texas. I broke this match offshore. Let's see if I can still make it work. Burning my fingertips. I cut that match way too short. I don't know, man. What part of the countries are supposed to be getting that stuff? That's the thing I'm curious about. Hopefully you're doing okay. You got all your prep stuff together. Hopefully you got all your prep stuff together, bro. And you are able to stay safe. True Budget EDC, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for being a goddamn member. We appreciate that, man. Hopefully everything is good with you. Let's see. Hold on. Let me go here. So if you got a question, just like True Budget indicated right here, if you put a Q colon in front of your question or your comment, it will gain my attention. Okay. So if you put a Q colon in front of your question or comment, it helps gain my attention. And I appreciate that. It makes life that much easier for your boy. I got the loud and clear confirmations from Atlanta Light, from Sparks and Sawdust. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Beard of Action. Sir, you got a beard of action? Okay, I can appreciate that, man. I can appreciate that. Let's see. Benchmade Ranger Green Bug Out. And you have the Leatherman curl in the pocket. You know what? I feel so bad, bro. I feel so bad because I decapitated my Leatherman curl trying to make a video like a year ago. And the crazy thing is when I did that, I lost the main pivot screw that holds the file in place. So if you look at your Leatherman curl, True Budget EDC, that bolt that holds the file on, I can't find that bolt. I don't know how to order another bolt. I guess maybe Leatherman sells bolts that I could just buy, but I haven't been able to carry my Leatherman curl. I actually put in the pocket last week the Leatherman Wingman for the first time in forever, and forgot how much I kind of don't like it, but I kind of do like that multi-tool at the same time. There's things that I like about it. I like how long the Phillips is and that type of stuff. But the Benchmade Osborne 940 Benchmade tactical pen. They make pens? Hold on, I didn't know they made pens, bro. Field trip. Hold on, let's look that shit up, man. Benchmade tactical. I feel like it was a specialty thing that they did long ago, because just like I have a Benchmade cigar cutter, you know, folks are just like, yeah, of course, duh. So survival pens, well, We Knife makes them. This is misleading. It says Benchmade tactical pens, and I click the link and it doesn't take me there. I guess they're discontinued. So you must have had it for a while, because if it's not on DLT Trading or Blade HQ, that means that I'm only going to probably find them on eBay. Interesting. I still want to check that out, though. We might have to see what that looks like. Um, Atlanta said, congratulations. I just want to thank me. Hey, I don't want to sound like Snoop. I want to be rich like Snoop. You know what I'm saying? I'm carrying a Spider Code Paramilitary 2, a Spider, a Leatherman Wave Plus, a Rovivant Aurora A3 Pro. You know, I actually picked up the A8 for the first time in like a year. I was like, man, I like this thing a lot. I forgot I owned it. Shame on me. I need to get that shit away. You know what I'm saying? Jeremy Cyrus posted a new video, was watching it before I joined here. Field Trip, let me see what he posted. Let's see what he posted. My kids watch my content. They use my YouTube account. Look at this crap. I got Lightning McQueen. I see my live stream. I got Lightning McQueen, a mixture, Gracie's Corner. It's just, they've completely flooded my damn YouTube. Picking a barrel. We drove 1,000 miles for a barrel of whiskey. So I know that Jeremy is about to release, I think he's about to release a select batch for a bourbon. I can't remember who he did a collaboration with. Is it with Woodford? I don't know if he did it with Woodford, but he's about to do his own select batch with some whiskey. I think he's done it before, but interesting. I might have to watch this later because he said barrel pick and distillery tour. Which distillery? Why did you want a barrel from there? It does draw my attention. You have me intrigued. Appreciate that, man. Bentley says I have the Ace Beam Tac 2A. Great practical flashlight, dual fuel. I mean, that thing's going to run you less than $30 all day long. And the CRKT Minimalist Drop Point, also very practical. Less than $100 all day long on your knife as well. You know, it's so crazy. I see Bitter Action. He says, I'm in Kentucky. We're supposed to get some real bad weather here shortly. I just watched on Netflix the documentary about that tornado that devastated that town. It was during the Obama years. I don't remember. Field Trip, Netflix documentary about tornado, and just like the storm chasers that went after it. It's not caught in the storm. Yeah, the Joplin tornado that hit over a decade ago, and just the people that went through that experience. If you get a chance to watch that, I think it's called Twister Caught in the Storm, but it's about the 2011 Joplin tornado. Crazy documentary on Netflix. If you're into, my favorite type of movies are disaster movies, and then I also tend to watch like historically accurate disaster documentaries as well. I'm in Indiana and we have some wind. Yeah, so those folks, man, in the Midwest, hopefully you got all your prep stuff ready to rock and roll. Hopefully you got all your stuff ready to rock and roll. Southwest Missouri. I will be in Missouri later this month. I'll be in, I think it's Bridgetown, whatever that town is on the east side. We had some tornadoes here this morning in Southwest Missouri. Would you ever do a man cave tour? You know what's so crazy? I did a man cave tour on this channel like 2-3 years ago, and I keep telling folks I owe them another one. And now I'm to the point where I think if I did a man cave tour, it would just flop, but I think I might just do it anyway. YouTube's not my full-time job. I got a full-time job, regular job. So I feel like I could do a studio tour. I mean, you're looking at most of my man cave now. I work, my entire man cave is a 3-car garage. This is one car of the 3-car garage, and this is a garage door next to me. And then behind us is the other 2 cars where the family, you know, they get to use most of that stuff. But I need to do another tour. It's real vibey in here, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. Real vibey in here. I got it to the point where I'm able to just chill out. I got this exhaust fan right here, which pulls smoke out. This fan right here pulls smoke towards the ceiling. There's another fan to my right, which is why the smoke is leaning that way, which is pulling smoke. And then I have an incredibly strong air filter that's right there mounted on the wall. This garage won't smell like smoke after 30 minutes. After I After I'm done smoking this, 30 minutes later, it won't smell like it. I love the setup I got out here. I'm in Tennessee. We haven't gotten any news about severe or dangerous things as well. Okay. Well, hopefully y'all keep y'all's heads down, bro. Keep calling in front of your stuff if you want to answer your questions or your comments. I was just kind of scrolling through. Only thing in the pocket today, lo and behold, is the Leatherman Arc Obsidian. I did a lot of stuff around the house. I just dropped a video earlier about $4,000 versus $400 EDC. And after I did the video, I told myself I need to actually put the Leatherman Arc in my pocket, or the Leatherman Free P4, the Leatherman Wingman, or a Roxxon multi-tool. It doesn't have to be name brand. But the point being is, my kids have been hanging from doorknobs. One of them was hanging from a kitchen drawer the other day. I need to tighten up some. My wife has a babe cave, just like I have a man cave. I made my wife a babe cave. That's probably 2 years ago as well. And in her babe cave, her batteries need to be changed, and the lock that keeps the kids from going in there and taking stuff, and it's a lot. So I put that in the pocket today just to ensure that I can do those tasks or whatever. So this is what the wife babe cave look like. I'm in my man cave. She gets her own babe cave. We are very, very pronounced about having our own spaces because, bro, we got 5 kids. I think Mrs. X is kind of good looking. All right. I think she's pretty good looking. And because we got so many fucking kids, we both need our own spaces to kind of decompress. And that's her decompression place where she does hookah and does hair and hangs out with her girlfriends and all the other type of shit. So we vibe it out, man. Vibe it out. Also in the pockets today, I'm actually carrying the Nikkor Teeny 3, or do they call it the Tiny 3? I'm not sure which one I should watch someone's video about it. I haven't done my own video yet. This thing is a nice keychain size flashlight. It's like less than, I think it's about the size of an AirPod, like a traditional AirPod. It has a great OLED screen, which you can see there. You can go through the different modes. So right there, I can go from there to 65 lumens. It goes up to 600 lumens for the turbo mode, but that turbo mode only lasts for, it's a small flashlight. That turbo mode is not going to last very long. But I can go straight to that turbo mode by pushing here. 600 lumens. I get that for 18 seconds, they say. So this thing has been really handy. It dropped 2 days ago. Nikkor sent it out to me. I don't owe them any content. They're not paying me any money. They just gave it to me. And I told them I don't even know if I'm going to do a review on it because I don't particularly like keychain flashlights, but 600 lumens that can last 18 seconds this small. The reason they can do it is because you can't change the battery out. So I think that they were able to get this thing in here and get a battery with good cells in it. So you wouldn't put any crappy cells in there. You charge it with USB Type-C, but you cannot change that battery out. So, I mean, I think this thing did only run me well, it didn't cost me anything, but I think right now that it's only going to cost people about $24. So that's not bad. The watch is the Veer S3 Field White watch. I did my video on the 4,000 versus 400 items. And I was just like, why don't I wear this watch more? This thing is like very affordable. It's a nice coarse movement, but I mean, $179, and it just kind of works. So I was like, I'm going to go ahead and put this on the wrist more often. The NATO strap is just like a lot of other Veer watches. It comes with 2 straps and all this other type of stuff. So I really wanted to kind of explore that. Just to kind of vibe out with it. So those are like the only physical things on my body other than my Zippo, because I do smoke sticks. I also light incense around the house. I'm always doing stuff. Right. So I usually have a Zippo of some type in my pocket. So that's in the pocket, and that's really it. So my wallet's not in my pocket until I leave the house. Like I have other things that I have nearby, pens and papers, because I'm always taking notes and stuff. So I have a tactile turn pen nearby, and I have my wallet is nearby, but it's not really a part of my EDC for today because I'm mostly vibing around the house. Now I'll leave the house later. I'm actually almost out of hookah. Don't slap me, okay? I pack hookah myself, and I only have this mint flavor left, and I might have to run and go get some hookah. Might have to go get some shisha. So those are the kind of things I'll be doing today. kind of make some different things happen. Q colon in front of your question or your comment will help me see your comment. Matter of fact, I should probably put something on the screen to that help remind you guys. Let's say we'll say Q in front of your comment or question. All right, so yeah, if you do that, it will give me I'll be able to see your comment. So do that, help your boy out. That will be appreciated and all that good stuff. So we'll add that to the screen, and we will also make it much smaller, and we'll put it over here. There you go. All right, so let's just see what type of questions you have, because that will make life that much easier, and see what we got here. We did that one. What do you think of the Benchmade? Is it the Dekian? I'm very bad at pronouncing stuff unapologetically. I don't really. It is what it is. Field trip. Let's go check that out. All right, so we go here. Now, first off, you know, a lot of folks have their things that they think about Benchmade. I think they make some good stuff. I think that they are unapologetic about their pricing. It is what it is. They don't really care what folks think. And you either get it or you don't. You either get it or you don't. The first things I see when I look at this is that it does look a little long for an everyday carry. This looks like something, I mean, the photos are so zoomed in, maybe I'm just tripping. $300 seems reasonable. Just, okay, I don't know anything else about it. I know you guys may jump down the throat and think about that and all, but just like my first initial impressions, $300 feels reasonable. It feels reasonable, okay? And so, is it 100%? I don't know. But if I think about, you know, I have like a knife, my Montana Knife Company knives, and the pricing that those things are offering. And I might think about something like something from, I recently got a box in from Bradford, and that knife is, I think, sub 200. That's Magna Cut, high heat Magna Cut, which is kind of what they use for tools. This gives me vibes of, it does have a few more premium like accents to it. I mean, it has a nice canvas micarta, which is gonna just grab the oils from your hand and look beautiful over the years. It is rocking Crucible Magna Cut, so it does have a sharpening choil on there. Has a great finger guard, so you can get up on it. Looks like you might be able to get all 4 fingers on it. I don't know if I like the sheath. Of course, made in the USA, life sharp warranty. So my first impression is that it seems reasonably priced. I know that sounds weird for a Benchmade knife, but this is $300. I can think of immediately things from like, you know, whether it be tour knives, TKL knives, whether it be something that comes from FG Manufacturing, Montana Knife Company. A lot of those knives are around this ballpark. So I don't know. It feels like they're trying to compete when it comes to this one. Blade length is 3.4. So a little bit over 3.5 inches. That puts the scales at about 4 inches. The handles themselves about 4 inches. I actually am not butthurt about this knife, to be honest with you. It's not my vibe. Like, the blade shape is not really my vibe. But I'm not really like, this whole thing is kind of getting grandpa. I kind of mess with that one, bro. I kind of mess with that one. What's the best value pocket knife for EDC, says Isaac. Good question. Best value is difficult. I'm going to answer your question. I'm not going to dodge it, but I don't know what your standard is for value. Because for me personally, if I can get something that's worth 2 hours of my pay and it's reasonably easy to sharpen, because it might be a Chinese knife and I'm just going to assume I'm never going to get the company to sharpen it, then that might be a budget knife for me. So if you make $50 an hour and you can find a knife for less than $100, then you found a reasonably priced budget knife, right? So that's something that you need to consider. But if you were to ask me like straight up, like, X, what's the number one recommendation you're going to make right now? It's going to be the CJRB Maximal or it's going to be something from Nav's Knives, like maybe the Lander or something like that. Because I feel like the CJRB Maximal, you're getting so much value here. They have a sharpening choil. It's a good blade shape. It feels really good in the hand. The crossbar lock is very, very well done. If you're left-handed, you can reverse it. The micarta feels nice. Like, this is a very well done knife for $50. But if $50 is still too much, you can look at the CJRB Pyrite Light. But that blade shape may not be something you want. So it just really depends. So right now, a lot of, for me personally, value is coming in with this knife. This is knives that are released in the last year. If you just want like a banger value knife, go get a Civivi Mini Praxis, $30 out the door. You're good to go, right? So everybody has like different things, but I think those are kind of some good value bangers right now. Some other value bangers in the past, I got a Benchmade Mini Griptilian for $89 on base. That was a great value for me. S30V blade steel, great scales, life sharp warranty. Like, that was a good value for me, but everybody doesn't have access to that, right? But I don't think we would find it unreasonable to say you spent $89 on a Mini Griptilian. That's not unreasonable. So everybody has like different things that they may assess. So if I go here and I look at the base website, and if you are a vet, you can go to the base website, register, to give them your information. They'll verify that you were in the military, or if you're currently in the military, you can shop on base. So these are the base prices for Benchmade knives right now. If I sort this by low price to high price, and I go straight to the knives right now, I can get a Mini Griptilian for $124. I mean, that feels reasonable to me. Like, because of how I know Mini Griptilians cost often, right? You can also get a Griptilian that is a combo edge for $140. So like, these would be reasonable for me because I have access to the base, but everybody doesn't have that, right? So it really just depends on what makes sense for you. I don't like the fact that these Griptilians cost significantly more than they did when they first released, but it is what it is. It's 2025. If you can get a Griptilian for $124 tax-free and free shipping, I mean, that's what you're going to pay. So this feels like a decent deal for me personally. Hopefully that answers your question, Isaac. Let's see. Atlanta says backpack weaponry, a 9mm foldable PCC or rifle caliber foldable pistol. So I particularly like any type of ammo which also can be NATO compliant. So 7.62x39 is, well, obviously they run 7.62x39 in AKs. They run 7.62x51 in ARs and AR-10s rather. But, you know, when you're thinking about the caliber that you may want to have, anything that you might be able to get this NATO compliant that might be able to have more put down power, more reliability. Because if you're carrying it in a bag, that I'm assuming you're keeping it in your front seat next to you, or you're carrying it with you at all times, you may want to have something with you that's just like very low likelihood of failure. And so rounds that are made in America, rounds of NATO compliant, that's what I would lean towards. But, you know, that's just me. Sparks and Sawdust says my Leatherman Wave Plus the 420 HC shell is rusting really bad. What? Hold on. That's weird. How can I remove the rust without scratching the blade? And how can I prevent the rust from the future? That's First off, removing the rust without scratching it. So I had a table saw. I had a table saw that I got from an estate sale. Now, I don't know if this is not, I'm going to show you what I did on this table saw. I have no clue if this is going to work for, you know, the removal of stuff on a knife. And someone in chat might be able to help out with this. But I got a table saw from an estate sale years ago, and it was in horrible condition. And so I did elect to go about the process of removing the rust myself. Now I used, let's see if I can find it. I don't even know where it is. No, I can't find it in my order. And I probably have it right here in this. I probably have it right here in this cabinet next to me. I'm not an expert on this, so I don't want to misguide you with information. I would start with YouTube University Atlanta, and I would see what other people have done, because I was going to show you what I did to this table saw, but I also don't want you to be like, oh, I'm just going to do what X did, perfect, and then you jack it all up, because that would be like really, really bad, and I wouldn't want you to do that. Yeah, I thought I had a photo of my table saw. I don't. Or actually, yeah, I do. Let me see. All right, so this is the table saw that I had years ago. And this thing here, I was able to clean the rust off of it very, very good. And I can't remember the products that I used. Some of the products are sitting on top of the table saw as we speak, which sucks because I eventually did upgrade to this table saw. I do like the woodwork. And so even that spot rust on top of this table, you can get that off with the product. I can't remember the product that I use, but that's on, these are, you know, the hardness level of the steel used on a table saw is completely different than the hardness level on the shell of a Wave Plus. So I don't want to tell you, go buy this, it's going to be fine. All right. But I would start with YouTube University and see if that can help you out, man. Hopefully that gives you a little bit of guidance to start. That does suck. Maybe you can pay warranty you might be able to pay for a warranty, send it to Leatherman and just let them charge you to see if they can do it. They may, because I know, like, I've sent stuff to Benchmade that I fucked up myself, and I paid money beyond the warranty, and they replaced parts and they did all sorts of stuff. Case in point, this cigar cutter, I stripped some of the screws, putting it back together. The chisel grind on this actual cutter itself, I couldn't figure out how to make it work with the Omega spring. I jacked it all up. I sent it in the Benchmade. They sharpened it for free with their Life Sharp warranty, and they charged me like $7 for the parts and the labor. So Leatherman might just charge you a nominal fee to knock it out. Carrying a Compass Timepieces Explorer, the TPK Mid Camper in a Three Sons wallet. Love the Three Sons wallet. Love the Three Sons wallet. Spark says, are the Leatherman arcs actually any good? Do they fix the whole deal with the cracking wire cutters? So my pair don't have the issue. Max Level EDC did. He talked about that. They were talking about that on Reddit as well. The Leatherman arcs are good, but I don't think you should spend the money on them. I'll be honest with you. I don't think you should spend the money on the Leatherman arc, because you're buying the Leatherman arc for the Magna Cut blade and maybe the interchangeable bits. But I would argue to say, as much as I like the Leatherman arc, the Leatherman Free P4 does 95% of what this thing does for $75 less money. And if you really want to, I think you can get away with a Leatherman curl. Spend less than $100. Like if it has to be Leatherman. Now, if it has to be made in America Leatherman, because all Leathermans aren't made in America. So if you're like, X, I'm adamant about it being made in America, then I would say you're looking at the arcs, you're looking at the Leatherman Free P4, you're looking at the Leatherman Free P2, you're looking at the Leatherman Mutts, because the Wing Plus, the Curl, the Bond, those aren't 100% made in America. The plier heads are made in Mexico. So, you know, it is really going to be which one works out for you. Brian says, does Benchmade fix chip blades? If not, where can I send it out to? I would imagine that they would if it's fixable. So what I would do, Brian, is send it in, let them assess it. They'll email you, and that's what they did for me. They emailed me and asked me, do I want to pay $7? They didn't just charge me $7. Okay. They emailed me, said, do you want to pay $7? And they sent me an invoice. And I paid the invoice, and then they put it back together and sent it to me. So what will happen is when you send Benchmade your knife, they will assess it. They'll determine if it can be fixed, how much they want to charge you, and they'll send you a digital invoice. You pay it, and they send you your knife back. That's what I would do, Brian. So the most headache you would have is you will be without your knife for 2 weeks for them to tell you no. But that's what I would try. Franco says, X, good to see you, man. Not a question, but I'd love to see a vid on Shit Hits the Fan books that we can keep at our home. Internet cell service goes out. Okay, good. We write that down real quick. That's not a bad idea, because I do have survival books like the Tiny Survival Guide and all that type of stuff I keep in my vehicle. But the only thing that's like books wise that I have per se, I really have are, I have like 2-inch binders with emergency information that Mrs. X can grab at any moment. She knows emergency contact information. This is the case our phones are dead. She has maps that can get us to East Texas. She has maps that can get us to Austin. She has the ability, it also has Faraday bags just in case she needs to put her phones inside of there to block signal for whatever reason. So I don't have like survival books just sitting around my house. I have 2-inch binders, which will help my 16-year-old or my wife, if I'm not here, to calm them down in an emergency. So she can grab that binder. In that binder is co-located a photocopy of our social security cards, our birth certificates, our actual social security cards and birth certificates are in a waterproof, fireproof, lockable case. It's not 100% fireproof. I'm pretty sure at a certain temperature it will melt, right? But she'll have copies of the crap. And if I'm not home, she can get into action. So maybe I should do, you know what I thought about doing for channel members is creating a PDF of how I like keep some minimal SHTF stuff as like a, because I prefer to bug in. So things I would do immediately if there was to be like a without rule of law, some type of situation or something like that. Beard Action says, what's your personal go-to 22 rifle? So crazy thing is I no longer own a 22 rifle, which is crazy because I own a bunch of rimfire ammo. I own 22 long rifle ammo, but I no longer own one. I used to have a 22 rifle on an AR platform and I sold it. And I did a trade for a 6mm. So 6mm rifles are more rare. And my buddy had a 6mm rifle that he got from his grandfather from the 1970s. He hated his grandfather's guts. He liked 22 long rifles. We made some things happen. He gave me some money. He gave me the rifle. Boom, 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 boom. So that's actually going to be on my list for acquisitions. Brian says Leatherman Mutt. Leatherman Mutt, I used to own. I sold it because I own dedicated multi-tools for my rifles and for my shotguns. But the benefit of a Leatherman Mutt is for field stripping your weapons when you're on the range, or field stripping your weapons if you're in any type of event. So Leatherman Mutt has certain tools on it like that can interact with the bolt of your ARs. It can scrape carbon out of your barrels. It can do all sorts of little things that can help you out. It's really targeted for people that carry weapons. That's what the Leatherman Mutt's like goal is. So I had an Avid multi-tool, and I saw very little utility in me carrying a Leatherman Mutt anymore because I had these multi-tools. There are also Leatherman Mutts that are carried specifically by EOD. So folks that work with explosives. So if you need to, for whatever reason, you need something like that. There are 4 different versions of the Leatherman Mutt. So whichever one you may need. So they have ones with the push pin, which are designed to work with C4 right back here. And then it still has the carbon scraper on there. This one's 108. This is a pretty good price. 180. But this one here, I'm sorry, this one has the bolt override tool. The other one has the one that's for C4. So you can get one that has a bolt override tool. You can get one that has one that's specifically designed for C4. And then you can decide if you want the main blade to be partially serrated or if you don't want it to be partially serrated. So they have like different versions of the Mutt. This one here has a C4 punch, as I mentioned, and the main blade is partially serrated. So this one's specifically for EOD. Whereas if you get the other Mutt, that has the bolt override tool, and you just have to decide if you want the main blade to be partially serrated or not. So I sold mine. I did not see the need of having it. but I do kind of miss it because the pliers on the Mutt, well, the pliers on the Mutt are, I think, the same size as the ones on the Surge, but they're big, and the cutters are really easy to replace. The other big difference with the plier heads on the EOD version is the crimpers are stronger, and they have specific designs for folks that do EOD. So if you're going to get it, get the one that's designed for the AR, unless for some reason you need, I don't know why you would need the one for EOD, but I think it's a waste of money to get it unless you really, really need it. So it also has longer bits. It has very, very long bits, and the bits are harder than normal Leatherman bits. So, but most people don't need it. Have you looked into the Compass Timepieces watches American born in Southern California? Field trip. Let's look it up real quick. Compass Timepiece watch. So interesting. Hey, I'm loving these little pop-up these micro brand watches, bro. These micro brand watches are really so American born, Swiss made. Oh, I know this is gonna sound petty, Roosevelt, y'all. This is gonna sound really, really petty. It's gonna sound really petty. But the first thing I notice about this photo is that his nails are dirty. At least it looks dirty in this photo, and it just threw me off. I feel bad for that. It just threw me off. All right, let me refocus. All right, so I love the way that dial looks big and easy to read. I'm wondering if they're like rocking quartz movements, if they're rocking Swiss movements. Okay, black owned. There's nothing wrong with that. He enjoys playing Xbox sports with friends. Hey, I can mess with that, man. So let's shop here. So if we go to all, and let's just show them from my prices. God damn, them prices. You know, oh my God. Man, oh man. All right, I see it, man. All right, this will be you're wearing which one? The Compass Timepieces. Which one are you wearing? Let me go back to your earlier comment. You are wearing the Explorer. All right, so which one is that? The Explorer is $3,300, or they have it in white and black. It's a ETA 284. I've seen this movement in other watches. I'm gonna have to check out the specs because I don't know if the value. I'm gonna put this in my discoveries tab. I'm gonna check this out when I sit down with my iPad. Appreciate you, Dub. This is the only thing though. I think you have to manually wind that movement. I like kinetic movements where I don't have to wind them. They're still automatic, but they got a motor that does the work. I don't want to have to wind my watches, but that's just me. What's your opinion on the GR2 Dyneema? Hey, bro, I'm not going to lie to you, Caleb. Dyneema's a fantastic material. So my GR2 Dyneema is right there on the wall underneath my exhaust fan. I just got this new Matador 35 liter bag, which I need to do a review on. Shot Matador, let me give you a two-part apology. First, I love what you guys are doing with your products. But no, I owe them a review. So what I intend to do is switch that Go Ruck out and use the Matador as my rucking bag. The Go Ruck is a 26 liter. The Go Ruck in that Matador is a 35 liter. But I really want to test it out. But let me just tell you something. It's so comfortable, bro. I understand it's very expensive, but it's so comfortable. If you're like 4 miles into a walk of any reason, if you're walking around a trade show, if you're rucking, you're hiking through the woods, you're carrying your kids through an amusement park, when you get like the 4th mile of anything, you start to feel stuff that sucks about your gear. You start to notice that pocket clip hurts a lot. You start to notice that Zippo feels heavy in your left pocket. You start to notice, I need to get a different holster for this gun. But one thing you notice about that, yeah, that thing gets the job done. That thing gets the job done. And so I like it. I do like it. I need to do a more long-term review. I've had it for over a year and a half now, and I've got a lot of miles on it. So we definitely need to try to check that out. Tanner says, yo, X, been a fan for a long time. You probably remember me, but I asked you on a live. Last live I turned into and suggested you do a plate carrier video. You took note of it. We're wondering. Yeah, I haven't completely came up with it yet. So my plate carrier is near that near that air filter back there as well. I want to do a plate carry, and I have one chest rig, and it's specifically designed for my AR build. I want a chest rig for all my long weapons. That's my goal. But those things are expensive to build up, get the magazines together, and get the molly pouches, and train with it, and get it broken in, and you know. But yeah, I intend to get that done, man. A lot of times I just try to knock them out when I get the opportunity. But I definitely have that noted in my list of ideas. Detroit Mint is also a good watch company maker out there as well. I'm always a big fan of some of these watches, man. I like me some watches. Okay. I got, I'm not trying to, I don't go fully down the rabbit hole of watches to the point where I'm just like blowing a whole bag on them. Right. But you know, I do try my best to, if I get an opportunity to pick one up, I will do that every now and again. Piranha says, I have the Leatherman Mutt in the real Avid gun tool, but have been replaced by the Roxxon Flex. The Roxxon Flex, I like Roxxon products. I think that they're doing a really good job with their multi-tools. Next Tool as well. I think they're the same company quietly underneath the different brands, because they sent me a catalog, and I swear I saw like Next Tool brands in that catalog, but maybe I'm tripping. Said, what up, Marie? Hey, David, thanks for kicking the door in. Tally and Twine is from Portsmouth, and they have some nice watches. Okay. Tim, School of Fish, what up, man? Hopefully you're doing well. What is my favorite flashlight? I don't have a favorite. I do have flashlights that I depend on reflexively grab no matter what. These two or the second one I'm about to show you, neither one of these of those two. Okay. The one I reflexively grab, I don't know what's going on, is the Phoenix 36R Pro, PD 36R Pro. That's on my plate carrier right now. It has a 27100 battery. It's just, I trust that flashlight. Speaking of flashlight, Woobin just announced earlier today the Woobin G5. This drops April 8th. I've had this thing for 3, maybe 4 months. They've not wanted me to talk about it, but I gave them a lot of feedback on this. This is the final production model. It's all in your face. So when they initially sent it to me, they sent a prototype, and I am glad they listened to guidance, because my prototype was really shitty. Okay. My prototype, this is a magnet on the bottom. My magnet fell off. My pocket clip didn't work right. So this pocket clip moves in a 90-degree angle. So this is the pocket clip. You can move it to either side of the flashlight. So right now the pocket clip is right here, but I can also take the pocket clip and I can move it to the other side. However you want to carry the light in your pocket, you can move it. This is way better on the production model, because the prototype, oh my God, it was a headache. Also, another thing is with this flashlight, you should be able to turn it on, right? And then when you move the lock switch down, the light should turn off. This one works. On my prototype, the lock feature didn't work sometimes. And I was like, hey, listen, you don't want me to do a video on this flashlight until you get your shit together. They did a lot of stuff. The final production model that I've had for over a month. So 4 months for the prototype, 1 month for the production. This one has not failed once. And the price point that they're coming out with this thing, and I think is $25. Smart. Let's just see what they say here. I think it's $25. I saw on their Instagram, I thought they had it for, let's go back, just go to their homepage. Okay, so they don't have it on there. They had it on their Instagram. I think it's coming out at $25. And if it comes out at $25, that means it's going to be instantly discounted to like 19 bucks, because that's just what they do. Okay. So I thought that was really interesting that they had those different options when it came to the pricing for the Woobin G5. I don't remember all the specs for it. Once I do the final video on it, I'll make sure I give you guys that, but I think it's really interesting. But do I have a favorite per se? Nah, not so much. The Woobin T4, and you know, so Woobin just emailed me about I think it's going to be something similar in the naming convention of the T4. They are dropping in a few months that they emailed me about. Woobin has really been trying to, they've been trying to push as much as they can out the way those companies such as Olight, etc., etc. How are they going to do with it? Is it going to be successful? We shall see. We shall see. I've been a big fan of that, man. I've been a big fan of where they've been going with that overall. Let's see. I have the ARC now. So Aaron says I have the ARC now, but I'm not overwhelmed with joy over it for the price. Would I be foolish to downgrade to the P2 or P4? Well, I would only get the Leatherman P2 if you're going to modify it. So Max Level EDC has a lot of great videos on how to modify the Leatherman free P2. So if you're just going to run it as is, I wouldn't get the P2. But if you are willing to do some modifications, then I would get the P2 and do some modifications to it. He has a lot of good info on modifying it. Okay. So if you just want to get it and just rock it as is, I would get the free P4. I like the free P4. Now mine, I have two of them. One of mine are modified, one of mine are not. The reason I like the free P4 is one big thing is it has the longer Phillips. And I know we all like these bit drivers, but I'm telling you, the longer Phillips comes in handy when you're trying to stick it into like the battery well of toys, or if you're trying to fix a doorknob and you don't want to scratch the doorknob. Having a long, slender Phillips driver, it gets it away from the multi-tool and it makes it not scratch your shit up. That's what I like about it. So everybody has their own opinions about it. This one right here in that thumbnail on the far left, the Phillips there, that's long, and that's what I love about the free P4. You don't get that on the ARC. The ARC has the bit driver and it's not that long, so you have to buy stuff to make it longer. So I probably, I don't know, are you downgrading to the P4 because you still want the free technology? Because if you're just trying to get features that are similar to the ARC, I would get the Wave Plus. I might even consider the Curl and save myself over $100 on both of those. But you know, it's going to be up to you. So yeah, Bradford just sent me, I haven't done the video on it yet, but I will say this. Bradford just released their Magna Cut Guardian 3.2, and it has the high hardness of 63 to 64. And one thing I will say about this is that I've been kind of impressed by it so far. First off, I'm impressed by the price point, $229, but I've seen this drop below $200. That's good to me. I think that that's reasonably priced. I think that they're really doing a good job on just their marketing. I think they're very personable. I met the owners for the first time when I went to Blade, Texas this year. And this is when I got my first experience with them, with their knives. So I have a Bradford Guardian 3 and a 3.2. And I will say this, I don't know how to gauge if that high hardness has been beneficial to me without me getting it out there and putting it in situations where I would normally chip other blades. But I'm going to see what I can do with it. But even if you're not sure and you're worried about being able to sharpen it, because that's going to be one of the things to think about with having that high hardness and it being Magna Cut, then you can pay for a sharpening service or send it back to Bradford. They have a crazy good sharpener. I met him. He's willing to sharpen their knives if you send it back to them. So then that might make you more interested in picking it up. I think that that might be something that you may want to consider as well. So I thought that was interesting. So just a couple of new pickups that have kind of made their way into my collection lately. What's your favorite chest rig for travel? Oh, chest sling bag for travel. So my favorite one, chest sling bag, that's going to be the Aviator by Tom Talk. Like literally for your chest. So the Tom Talk Aviator, they call it the Aviator because they really want you to travel with it. But their Aviator series, bro, they're reasonably priced. I did a review on the T33. I didn't even know they came out with the T35. That must be a bigger bag. But these things, look at the T33. I mean, you can get the T33 for $36. You can get, if you want it to be like a larger version or X-Pack, it's $47. Like, these bags are really, really good. and they stay on your chest. And I think that's what you mean. Like, you want a true bag that does not, because some sling bags will slip off your chest. This is not one of them. This will stay on your chest. See how this guy's wearing a bag? This is when sling bags fail. You got a bag on, you're carrying a coffee, you're trying to hold your kid's hand, like you got a hoodie on, and the sling bag begins to move. Nah, not this one. Not this one. I like the Tom Talk Aviator. Full disclosure, they sent that to me, and when I did that video, they paid me for it, but they didn't know what I was going to say, and I've shit on their products in the past, and they still work with me. So I will tell you if I don't like some shit by Tom Talk. So I think that they definitely did a good job when it came to their Aviator series. I think they're really knocking it out the park. I've been EDC with the Woobin X2 Pro for last month. So far, it's been great. Daily conversation piece. Yeah. And you know, that's what the G5 is inspired by, the X2 Pro. They took that technology where you can twist the head, and they just brought it down to a cheaper package. It doesn't have anywhere as good as emitters as the X2 Pro. Doesn't get as bright, but it's small. I mean, it fits in the palm of my hand. You can damn near rock this on a keychain if you wanted to. They have a lanyard holder. I think whenever I get flashlights that have lanyards, I throw the lanyards in the trash post haste. So I don't know. I don't remember what the lanyard looks like, but if I don't remember if they give you a lanyard, but it does. You can rock one if you want to. You can rock one if you want to. Guys, I appreciate y'all kicking again for another EDC Q&A. A lot of things you could have did with your time, but you came here and kicked it with your boy, and that is extremely well appreciated. It is time for your boy to finish this stick and go in there and holler at Mrs. X, because I just saw that ass walk by. First time stopping by, hit that subscribe button. I would love to have you guys a part of the battalion. If this is not your first time stopping by, thank you once again for watching me run my grape. For everyone else, we'll speak soon.